y'all, Shira7. I'm just outside today because it's such a beautiful day. As y'all can see, I washed my hair and dyed it. And I didn't want to make a video with wet hair, so I just braided it up like a little Indian lady, Native American Indian lady, and put on my little flower child. So I'm just outside because it's like springtime in Houston. It's really pretty, and I like being outside in my backyard, my new backyard, since the spring has set in. So this video, I want to do a topic video today about problems with spirituality and dating or marriage, because a lot of people, when they become awake or become spiritual, not in a religious sense, sometimes in a religious sense, but when they become like spiritual and growing and waking up and learning new things, and their partner might not feel the same way or believe the same things, so one person is basically growing and the other one is not. It's like kind of confusing sometimes, and you're wondering, am I with the right person? And you know maybe I'm supposed to be with somebody else that's more enlightened and blah 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 blah. And then sometimes you like get confused when you do meet someone who's shares your same spiritual knowledge or on that same level of spirituality, and you get confused and you say, well, maybe I'm supposed to be with that person because we're more alike and we believe in the same things and da 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 da. And then like sometimes people like in their relationship of years that they've been with someone, or something like that, and go try to pursue with someone else that's more spiritual. And sometimes it ends up backfiring because although that person might have, those spiritual beliefs that you share, they might not have the qualities everywhere else in their life that you are used to or that you need. Like, are they a good provider? Are they a good friend? Are they selfish? Are they going to do the same things for you that someone else did for you, even though they weren't spiritually awakened? So you have to like weigh all of that out. And a lot of people get confused because they confuse soulmates with someone that you have a lot in common with, or share the same beliefs with. That's not soulmates. That's just someone who shares your ideas or your beliefs, or you have a lot in common with. So don't go around, if you're just new to waking up spiritually or and learning new things, and someone knows something or teaching you something, and you start to look up to them and you start to kind of like them in that way. But you have to realize, like, everyone's waking up. A lot of people are waking up. That doesn't mean that that's your soulmate. So a lot of times people get confused. Sometimes they get hurt and they're like, well, I thought, yeah, you can't confuse waking up spiritually with meeting, the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, okay? So I just wanted to put that out there because a lot of people, when they're on their spiritual path and journey and they meet someone else that's on the similar journey, they tend to, try to rearrange their entire lives because they feel like there's not that many of awakened people in the world, and that if you find one, it's rare. It's not rare. You're just, not everyone walks around with a sign on their shirt saying I'm awake, so you don't know who's awake and who's not. Sometimes you could be talking to someone and they're probably awake and they're not going to say anything because they don't know if you're awake, and they don't want to, like, look strange in front of you from saying something. So don't ever think that there's not that many awake people in the world, because there are. So also, like, sometimes couples, one person will be awake and spiritually enlightened or on their spiritual path, and another person will still be in what I call the matrix. Another person will still be like watching CNN every night, believing everything on the news, going to work, striving, doing all the earthly things that they were programmed to do. And some people who are in relationships with those type of people and are spiritual, sometimes that is not so bad, because while you're in the astral plane or in meditation or on your spiritual path and growing and learning, that person's out in the real world, making it happen, So you shouldn't really down people if they don't have the same, if they're not on the same level as you. Oh, the neighbors just came out. You shouldn't really down people because they're providing a way for you, and they're doing what they need to do in this world to, make it. And sometimes you need two people, one on the inside and one on the outside, to really make it. And it's great because eventually that knowledge that you have and his knowledge or her knowledge is going to meld together and become a new knowledge. They're going to have the outside world handled, and you're going to have the spiritual world handled. So you can teach them, and then they can teach you. And sometimes it's good to be grounded, because sometimes spiritual people are like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. Earth is so bad. Well, you are here. You have to be here. And the reason you are here is to learn how to live here and have balance, as above, so below, So a lot of people are saying, I just don't want to be here anymore. It's too bad. Well, it's supposed to be that way. It's a learning experience, You're not supposed to cop out and give up and think just because you're spiritual you don't belong here. If you didn't belong here, you wouldn't be here, okay? You have to learn how to have one foot on earth and one foot in heaven at the same time. You have to be multi-dimensional, and you have to be able to make it in this world and the spirit world, okay? That's what you're here for. So if you're not feeling this planet or this earth because you don't have like people around you, go within. That's where it's at. It's within. You have to understand, it's not about meeting people and meeting your twin flame, and that's like the spiritual fairy tale. You might as well follow, the fairy tales in real life. That's like Cinderella. That's like all the Disney movies, from the past. You're looking for a fantasy within a fantasy, okay? It's not going to always be perfect. You're going to have struggles. You're going to have obstacles. You will overcome them because that's the laws of the universe. The stronger you are mentally and spiritually, you also have to be healthy physically because you are on the physical earth. So don't ever think that just because you're spiritual you don't belong here, because you do. Don't down people because they live in the matrix, because they're actually helping you to be able to live in this plane of existence that you do. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say today. If y'all have any questions about relationships with people who aren't awake or very spiritual, let me know. Okay, put it in the comments. All right, peace.